All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Great to have you here. So this is the first community meetup in 2026, and we will be walking through a bunch of updates. But I guess to begin with, maybe let's do some quick introductions. So Arik and I are maintainers at Robusta. Daniel, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. I'm Daniel. I'm a DevOps engineer working for Moon Active. We've lately introduced Holmes into some of our CI/CD flows, and yeah, I guess that's it.
Manoj, thank you. Manoj, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. So I'm an SRE engineer. I'm part of HCL software and responsible for operations for various HCL software products. At the same time, I'm also part of external community organizer for CNCG in Noida, where we do a lot of SRE games kind of events. So I'm looking forward to introduce Homes to that and maybe contribute some of our use cases to that.
Thank you so much. So great to have you both with us. And I know we have more people who will also be catching the recording. So we have an hour scheduled. I think this will probably be more like half an hour today. But we'll give everyone some time back. These meetings alternate on the time zone. So today we're doing this in Asia in Europe friendly time zone. And the next time, so we shifted to US friendly time zone, as we know we have contributors and users in both time zones. So the agenda is a little bit what's new, then doing a deep dive on the GitHub integration that Arik will do, speaking a little bit about the open source roadmap and stuff we will be working on in the next month. Everyone, great to see you. And then Q&A at the end. So in terms of news, we're officially CNCF now. I think we've finished the entire process to become a CNCF Sandbox project. Since the last meetup, we've released a ton of new integrations. Of course, all the major cloud providers, a lot of improvements to the different observability tools, and we have much more coming soon. And then we've also made major improvements to accuracy and made major improvements also to the evals workflow. So as a reminder, we do extensive evals to really take scenarios that we want to test homes on, and then test it automatically on those scenarios in CI/CD and during development. We made some major improvements there. So in every single PR, you can see exactly like how that change is impacting homes accuracy on a bunch of different scenarios. Okay, all right. Do you want to do a deep dive into the GitHub integration?
Yeah, sure. Let me do a short demo. Um, thank you. So what you all know that what makes Helm so special is the ability to integrate it with many different tools. So today we can integrate with cloud provider, with Google, with Azure, and then with all the observability solutions and many other systems. And here I want to show the latest GitHub integration, which actually kind of completes the story of troubleshooting end to end. So Holmes now can search for an issue in the cluster and then find an issue and then search GitHub to see if there were changes and even apply a fix. So let's see how it works. So I can ask what's wrong with the user API. And then Holmes will do its normal investigation. It will build an investigation plan. And this workload has an annotation which says which repo it lives on. So Holmes will go to GitHub and then try to check if there's any changes related to the issue we're experiencing. So let's see. We see Holmes already here is using the GitHub integrations. It found the repo. Um, Even before that, it checked the logs. It already knows the issue. And let's see what happened next. If you have any questions, feel free to ask while it's investigating.
And this is only for GitHub public, or we can do it with self-hosted GitHub also.
No, no, it works also with GitHub Enterprise. It works with both. Okay, so Helm found the issue. This user API is crash looping. It shows me the error. What else? Okay. Now it found that there was a commit in GitHub that uh, made actually caused the issue. So now I can ask Holmes to go and open a PR to fix it. So yes, and now basically Holmes is using the GitHub integrations uh, to basically do the actual fix for me. So we started with an issue that we don't even know what's the cause, and then we're taking it all the way back to apply a fix in GitHub. So it will take just a minute or so. Now, this can be useful to troubleshoot coding issues, to troubleshoot infrastructure as code, someone when the configuration change that suddenly breaks stuff, or to troubleshoot GitHub actions or workflows that are failing, which is very common everywhere. Okay, so we have the PR ready, and now let's go to the GitHub. Okay, so Holmes opened the PR, it's under my name, and then it's doing the fix. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Any other questions on this?
So, I mean, maybe a little silly, but does it cover almost all the languages or only the modern ones? I mean, if I go back and start doing something with the mainframe or what do you call Fortrons or all those languages also, right? Can it do some analysis on that too?
I think it will. I didn't test it on like all the languages, but I assume it does. We probably have to test it.
Yeah, I think that would probably be model provider specific. So if it's a model that is a strong enough model, like trained on the internet, like Opus or other state-of-the-art models, I think that would be fine. On something like GPT OSS, that would probably be more challenging.
But I'm inclined through debugging something related to mainframes, where we mostly find COBOL and Fortran languages stuff.
It's interesting. It's interesting because the mainframe use case for Holmes just keeps coming up. You'd be surprised, but there's
Yeah,
the you're the third person this week to speak to us about Holmes on mainframe use cases.
Is there a lot of COBOL code
I
on?
think it's because I think the Kubernetes support on mainframe got announced a year or 2 years back. So because they started supporting Kubernetes, now I think all that Kubernetes ecosystem thing will come in.
Interesting. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna follow up with you on this after the community call, I think. I know we're chatting anyway later today, so it's actually super interesting. Me.
Okay. I mean, this is not related to what we are doing. I mean, that's more on Kubernetes and Linux. But there is a different offering altogether, which is IBM mainframes, different offering, which HCL actually work along with mainframe-based customers. I was just thinking if such a thing happens, pitching in homes there will also help.
Yeah, I think we need to start showing some use. So it's interesting because when we first started, of course, like we were more focused on Kubernetes, and very rapidly seen like a lot of the value from Helms comes from being able to be used in many non-Kubernetes environments and to go across the boundaries there and look at network devices and look at other things and like really look at virtualization and look at on-premise hardware and look at a lot of cases that are not at all like cloud native. And the mainframe one does keep coming up. So I think it's actually probably might be time we have an official integration on that, and also even like a case study or something showing that end to end on how some people are using that. So that might be really interesting to look at. We might be the first AI agent for mainframes. Anyway, so it's funny how the terminology also works. Like I was just speaking to a company in the security space as their AI agent, and the joke, and they're like an agentless security solution. So the joke is now they have their agentless agent. So it's interesting how uh, uh,
Yeah, it's just like serverless systems, right? Serverless server. So yeah.
exactly. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go back to the updates. Me, and I think we are gonna actually finish way early scheduled today. We also have a fairly small audience today, so I want to speak a little bit about the roadmap for the next month. So we're finally going to be releasing HolmesGPT Operator in GA, and HolmesGPT Operator essentially introduces two new custom resources into the cluster. A check resource, so you can define a check that Holmes will run on stuff in your cluster, and then every check is conditional. So you can say like, go look at the new deployment that we rolled out and see if everything is healthy. And then if it is great, if not, you'll get a message in Slack or Teams or email, one of the other notification syncs. And then the second one is a schedule check. So it's kind of like job and cron, job on Kubernetes. Now you can say every day at whatever hour, every week, go and check certain things in my cluster. And again, it's conditional, so it's gated. So it's almost like an LLM driven alert. So the LLM is evaluating some condition in the background periodically. If it spots a problem, it sends you a push notification. If it doesn't, it just keeps quiet. And essentially that works by scheduling a prompt with a Boolean output to run at whatever cadence you want. So that is the first area that we're going to be releasing the next month. And I don't know if there are any questions on that. If there are, I'll stop. It's the first of many features that we're rolling out that really shifts Homes from like more of a user involved flow to background agents and stuff happening in the background 24/7.
No, just go ahead. I mean, when we are releasing operator, I'm continue to assume that Hem will continue to be supported and we continue to update Hem charts. I mean, release by release.
Yes, yes,
Or they,
100%. So the operator will be installed via Helm, meaning we will still install Robusta in Homes via Helm. It's like if you install Prometheus, Kubernetes stack. So you install Kubernetes stack with Helm, but Kubernetes stack itself is installing an operator.
okay, okay, okay.
So the operator will be like to use not to install Helms, but to use to like schedule these like a background agent and configure a background agent, not to
Okay.
install Helms
So,
itself.
so, does that mean we are introducing CRDs?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be
Okay.
two new custom resource definitions, two new CRDs, one on getting Homes to go and check something like right now and then write the result to a CRD. So you can create a instance of that CRD and then the Homes will check whatever you write there right now and can maybe send a notification. And then the other is to schedule that essentially with a cron, like on the cron schedule.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, great questions. And then the second is the improved bash tool set. So of course we'll add the ability to remember approvals, which has been lacking for some time. And we're also dramatically extending the built-in whitelist. So for all like the common things that a user would want to run to troubleshoot stuff, we're going to have a very extensive built-in whitelist, of course, limiting it to read-only commands. We hear from people that like one of the advantages of Helm is like the ease of use to get up and running, not need to configure anything on Kubernetes scenarios and on like cloud and troubleshooting scenarios. So this will take hopefully make that even easier. Finally, we're making CLI improvements. So there's going to be an onboarding wizard where users can like configure MCPs and different integrations, and we're going to make it a lot easier to configure there. Where today, I think it's a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, that is it. And this is just the last slide. So questions and comments, now is the time.
Just one question. I mean, this is something going on from a long, but I really wanted to start contributing. So I just wanted to know what's the path. I mean, from where I should start.
Let me check that on GitHub. We have some issues tagged as good like entry level items for contributors. It But that is typically like a really good starting point. And then if you want something specific right now, it would there's actually it's documentation related, not code related, but there's a change we want to make on the docs with AWS MCP to make it a lot easier. If you're interested in like also taking a look at that and reviewing it and like seeing if we can make it even simpler, that's like a really good, easy, specific item. But tell me, Manoj, what do you have in mind or what sort of contribution?
See, for open telemetry, right? I was doing, or I just started. I will just one PR I raised last week on open telemetry demo. So I am more towards the usage, not building something within the Home GPT. It's more of how it's more of a end user things, right? How I can make use Home GPT in a better and effective way. Some kind of that side.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so a good way to do that is we have a page in the docs. Let me pull this up for a second. Um, we have a page here in the docs with walkthroughs. And then we
Oh,
have
yeah.
here like a walkthrough on CI/CD troubleshooting. And for example, Daniel has actually helped to contribute some instructions that we're going to use to improve this page and so show how you can like configure Homes in CI/CD to also leave comments on the PRs. So maybe there's a use case here, like a walk. You could add a walkthrough Manoj on a specific scenario where Homes is useful and show that scenario on ads.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you recall, right, what we were talking about, that MariaDB thing and all that stuff. I was thinking if I make it more generic and bring in here how to actually investigate a database, or how to investigate a maybe Kubernetes cluster, self-hosted, or EKS, or any of those, or any other databases. I think that's the right place, right, for putting those. Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be fantastic. I would say start from the more specific one because I think we tend to find that like a guide that is specific to MariaDB always gets more views and more interest because then like anyone who has MariaDB goes like, oh, that's me. You can maybe like generalize it to MariaDB or
yeah.
MySQL,
Yeah.
but a guide that is like specific here to MariaDB could be really, really powerful and useful. Like investing like AI apps for MariaDB and putting something like that in here could be incredibly powerful.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I will think through all those use cases. I mean, but yeah, I just really, yeah, this is, I think, the right place. That's what I was asking. I mean, how I can, whatever I do in my day-to-day job, right, I can pull in some of those stuff, make it a little more generic, clean that up for removing all our private information, and then maybe put it public. I thought of doing it through a blog first, but maybe this is the right place. This is even a better place to put it in the HomeGPT official documentation itself.
Yeah, a ton of people would find it incredibly useful if you put it here. I know for sure. I know the MariaDB Foundation actually was reaching out to Arik and wanting to also see if you actually wanted to jump on the call and speak about some of the work that you've been doing there.
Yeah. I mean, that's I just take an example, but yeah, we on day-to-day basis we do get a lot of alerts, right? And I started seeing some of my team members have started using it now, asking some generic questions or finding it really great. Maybe I can make use of some of the basic use cases first, and then maybe get into more deeper ones.
Yes, yes, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
So this,
You go
I
ahead.
hope process remains the same, right? That's the same PR raising on GitHub for this documentation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you will also get a preview URL, I think. So on any time that there's docs like this, then there's automatically a preview URL that gets generated to show you a preview of the docs as well. But of course, you can build the docs locally as you test it out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Any other, if there are no other questions, I guess we'll wrap up for today. We're up a little bit early.
I actually wanted to ask Ari something about the GitHub integration we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Um, just curious, how does it handle like more complex cases? Let's say the commit had a bunch of changes across many classes and files, and the reason for the failure is in one of these files. Is it able to pinpoint the exact change and revert that specifically, or does it always revert the entire commit?
So it depends. Like the integration allows it to read all the files and then to check the changes. Um, and then like it depends on the change. I wouldn't say that it will find the exact code 100% of the time, but from what I tried it so far, it's doing pretty good. It can like identify a commit and then look at the changed files, and then if it's related to the error, so it will be able to point it out. And then you can also basically submit an issue to Copilot. So, and then like you can launch the GitHub Copilot to try and fix the issue as well.
Right. Cool.
Daniel,
Thank you.
do you want to set up time with Arik to try it out in your environment? And then that would also help us like iron out any edge cases. I know we already actually have time next week with New Relic, but and Tomer, but
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that's currently running in our environment, like the GitHub integration. So I think like a prerequisite to that would be actually, playing with it on our side.
okay. I'll make sure we follow up and we get you details also on how to set it up. Like once it's
Mhm.
merged, because it's going to be merged probably any day now. So once it's merged, then we'll send you the exact details on how to do that. It'll all be in the docs anyway, but I'll make sure to ping you and that you know about it and can share the feedback.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And to everyone who's joining also in and watching, thank you very much. And the next meetup will be in US friendly time zone. As I said, we're going to alternate each meetup. And looking forward to seeing you all there. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Nathan. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.